Good day, good day, good day, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Meditation with the Full Moon. I am Rev Melissa, and this is our special sip that happens when we have a full moon. And if you haven't had the opportunity to look at the moon tonight, I'm sitting on my front porch and I could see the moon over the over a couple of buildings. I could see the moon. So, good day, good evening, everyone. I am Red Melissa. It's wonderful to be with you all this evening. If you have not been with me for my regular show, which is Morning Sip with Red Melissa, you can tune into that Mondays through Fridays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. A brief intro. My passion, my mission is to inspire people through my ministry of joy. It is to support people in transforming their lives. It is to be a beneficial presence in the world. So, thank you all for being with me tonight. In preparation for this evening's meditation with the moon, I invite you to just be present. So, if there's folks around, just tell them you need about 40 minutes to just have some me time, have paper to write on and something to write with, and just have an open, willing mind and breathe. And just breathe. So I will guide you through step by step. Let me just take a moment and acknowledge folks that I see. Shay from Colorado, good evening. Thank you for being here. Linda from the mountains of Colorado, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Cheryl. It's good to see folks joining in on Instagram. I see you, Sup Up 313 and Lady Cinnamon. Thank y'all for joining in. We are streaming live on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, and New Thought Media Network. You can always catch replays of Morning Sip. The best place is on my YouTube channel at I am Rev Melissa. So let us get ready. I always start by just sharing a little bit of information about the full moon. So, this full moon is in the sign of Sagittarius. It is also known as the flower moon, and it reached its peak illumination this morning, Eastern Time, at 9:43 a.m. So, this is the final full moon in the season of spring. And the May full moon, as I said, also goes by the name flower moon because of all of the flowers that bloom in May. Other names, I always love the other names also. The budding moon, the planting moon, time of the big leaf moon, the frog moon, and the milk moon, to name a few. All full moons are a culmination point. The energy of the full moon has a way of illuminating what has and hasn't been working. It is a great energetic time to let go of what no longer serves us, what is complete, and we can declare anything complete. Spiritually, the moon has an increased energetic effect on our lives. And I find it interesting because this week in Morning Sip, the topic this week, our series has been on energy, right? So think about the energy of the full moon and how it pulls us, right? Just like it pulls the ocean tides, it also pulls us. So I came upon two folklores of the May moon specifically, and I thought they were cute. So one is it's a great time to accept a marriage proposal for this full moon. And the other one that I thought was hilarious is don't wash clothes. Don't wash clothes during this full moon because the clothes will not last. Okay. I won't be doing laundry tonight anyway. So no one do laundry tonight. This is a good time to focus on releasing our old ways of thinking, things that no longer work, limiting beliefs, clutter, all of those types of things. Anything that has been an unhelpful attachment in our lives, so that we can release and let that go and enter into the summer with an open mind and heart. The energy of this moon is expansive. It's a time to bloom. And the energy of Sagittarius in this moon, it reflects a growth oriented energy, broadening your horizons and expanding your knowledge. It also supports traveling and pursuing your philosophical interests. This energy of the May flower moon supports dreaming bigger, and being optimistic about all that is blossoming in your life. It is a time to spread your wings. And my favorite word for 2024, soar. It is a time to soar. So there you go. Just a sip of some information about this full moon in Sagittarius, the flower moon. So I hope that was good information that you can use. So, part of what we do for our meditation with the full moon is a full spiritual practice. Now, I talk about spiritual practice all the time, especially in morning sip, because sip stands for spirit and practice. So, this will give you the opportunity to get in an evening spiritual practice with the energy of this May Sagittarius moon. So, we start with inspirational reading, and then we do inspirational journaling, meditation, and then I end with a word of inspiration. So, as I have been doing the last couple of meditations with the moon, when we do our meditation, there's going to be a blend of journaling along with the meditation. And so we will be staying in the energy of the meditation, even though we are writing. Okay? So get comfortable. I'm going to share our inspirational reading. And this comes from Bob Roth. So I practice transcendental meditation, and Bob Roth is the CEO of the David Lynch Foundation. And he leads a live meditation in the morning and in the evening. And before we go into the meditation, he always shares these little tidbits about something. And he calls it the genius of nature. And sometimes he shares a poem or a little story. And so this morning he shared this, it's kind of like a poem story type of thing. And I just loved it. And you may be familiar with it. It's called the autobiography in 5 short chapters. And it's by Portia Nelson. Autobiography in 5 short chapters by Portia Nelson. So this is our inspirational reading. Autobiography in 5 short chapters. Chapter 1. I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am hopeless. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I still don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place. It isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it there. I still fall in. It's habit. It's my fault. I know where I am. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street. Oh, I love that so much. So, again, that's autobiography in 5 short chapters by Portia Nelson. Okay, so let's get ready for our meditation. Please have something nearby for you to write on and to write with. And we're just going to start by settling into this beautiful evening. And if you like, you can close your eyes, lower your gaze, and we just start with our breath. Because our breath has a way of drawing us in deeper and higher within ourselves. So let's take a breath. And so we breathe in and we breathe out. And we breathe in and we breathe out. And we breathe in. And you can let out a sigh just to release the air fully. And we breathe out. And just continue with your breath, allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper within. And we relax. And we allow ourselves to be present, to be in this right now moment. And we just breathe. And allow everything to settle in. Just releasing anything that came before this moment. Just releasing the day. Whatever happened, we let it go now. And we just give ourselves some grace for doing the very best that we could do today. And knowing that our best is enough. And so we breathe. And with each breath, we recognize where we are. We are here, present and accounted for. And so just scan your body and release any tension you may be holding. I know for myself, I hold a lot of tension in my shoulders and upper back. So just breathe into any areas in your physical space, in your body temple. Just breathe into that area and release the tension as you exhale. Full inhales, full exhales. Think about your breath in the fullness of the moon. As full as the moon is, welcome the breath and that same energy. And just breathe. And as we breathe, we allow ourselves to tap into our imagination. And in our imagination, we see the full moon, this May moon in Sagittarius, this flower moon. We bring it to our mind's eye and we recognize it. And it recognizes us. And you just gently nod to the moon, acknowledging its presence in your consciousness now, acknowledging that all is well right here and right now, that you are safe, that you are divinely protected. And the moon is reflecting that truth to you now. And so the first thing that the moon loves to receive is anything that you are willing to release, anything that you are complete with, anything that you desire to be complete with, any limiting thoughts, beliefs, anything that may be cluttering up space that could be used in a more useful way. Just bring that to mind now. And as you see the fullness of the moon, turn it over. Release whatever that may be into the energy of this full moon. Hold nothing back. When we release it all. And take a breath. Say goodbye. Recognizing now that it has been accepted by the moon's energy, and the moon's energy transports it, transmutes it, and it is done. And so we breathe. And as I shared that story, the autobiography of 5 chapters, the thing that you released is like the person who kept walking down the same street, falling into the same hole until it realized that it could make another choice. And so we get to make another choice. Because the wonderful thing about releasing is that it creates inner space. It opens up a door for something else to come in, something that you may be desiring, but for whatever reason, you may feel hesitant or fear or doubt or worry. You may feel excitement, enthusiastic, encouraged. Whatever that feeling is, it is fine. So bring to mind now something that you have been desiring. That chapter 5, when the person finally made the decision to walk down a different street, you get to make the decision to walk down a different street, a street that you have been curious about, a street that you have been checking out from a distance. And now you get to bring it closer to you. You get to invite it in. You get to have the moon's light illuminated and bring it into its fullness through you and as you. And so we take a breath and we allow our imagination to bring that to mind, whatever it may be. What is it that you are desiring to have blossom in your life, like the flowers blossom in May? Bring that to mind now, no matter what it is, no judgment about it whatsoever. We are in a field of infinite possibilities. Bring it to mind in your imagination as clearly as you can. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Do you hear anything? Just bring that fuller and fuller into your consciousness. And allow the feeling to expand. For this full moon in Sagittarius is expansive energy. So it's time to dream bigger. And take a breath. And now imagine yourself with whatever it is that you are desiring. Imagine yourself actually doing and being that now. Whatever that may be. What are you doing? Who's with you? Where are you? Just fill in as much as you can and feel in as much as you can. And allow your breath to expand it within you. And so we take a breath and still in this energy, still in this flow, just write down whatever is present for you now. What did you imagine? And just capture it on the page. Free flowing, no analyzing it. We're just letting it be, letting it flow onto the page without any edits. And we'll take a couple of minutes to capture it now. And take a breath. And we just simply ask the question, Is there anything else that wants to be known now? And capture that on the page. Is there anything else, Moon, that you need to tell me now? I'm open to receive it. And so let's take a breath. And we could pause here. And as we breathe in and we breathe out, giving thanks for what has been received, giving thanks for what has been released, giving thanks for what we imagine, giving thanks for walking down a different street. The last part of the inspirational journaling is to capture an action step that you will take that's related to what you imagine. Just one baby step and put a by when, a date. A teeny weeny step. Once you capture that action step, just close your eyes again. Just be centered in this vibration that you have co created with the moon's energy. Give yourself some gratitude for taking the time to give this time to yourself, to replenish yourself after a day. And so we'll close this with a reading from Gibran from the Prophet. And so we take a breath as we take this in. Do not live half a life, and do not die a half death. If you choose silence, then be silent. When you speak, do so until you are finished. If you accept, then express it bluntly. Do not mask it. If you refuse, then be clear about it. For an ambiguous refusal is but a weak acceptance. Do not accept half a solution. Do not believe half truths. Do not dream half a dream. Do not fantasize about half hopes. Half the way will get you nowhere. You are a whole that exists to live a life, not half a life. half the way will get you nowhere. You are a whole that exists to live a life, not half a life. So let's breathe that in. We are here to live life fully alive, fully blossoming, fully expressing, fully expanding, fully living as the divine beings that we are. And so we breathe and we slowly come back to this space and time, wherever you may be. You can gently open your eyes, kind of rock yourself gently just to bring your physical body back. Wonderful. We could say, thank you, Moon. Yes. And I thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be with me and to be with yourselves on a deeper level. And so we do this every month, full moon meditation with Rev Melissa. Thank you all. You're very welcome. Thank you. So I hope to see you all tomorrow for Morning Sip with Rev Melissa, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right where you're watching me now. And we will be continuing our energy series. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes.